Greetings and welcome back to For Fun Friday, where I, your somewhat gracious host, decides to invade the animal kingdom for a week in order to see what insects have to offer us. Yeah, that's the intro I'm going with. This week we're having a look at BEETROOPER, a TCG exclusive archetype as far as I'm aware, that lately has seen a ton of support, now gotten to the point where I might actually consider this deck a rogue deck. It's really interesting. As always, if you enjoy this type of content, do remember to click the subscribe button down below and leave a like for the algorithm and whatnot before we get into the deck profile. Now, BEETROOPERs are, of course, an insect-restricted deck that aims to summon Giant BEETROOPER Invincible Atlas. This thing is basically a 3,000 towers for what it's worth, and can go up to as high as 5,000, or just let you summon a bunch of stuff from your deck. It's really, really good, and considering insects have had some really strong support even back in the earliest DM days, it's kind of okay. Let me just walk you through the deck and you'll kind of get an understanding as to what we're attempting to do. First of all, we're playing one Doomdozer, the original insect OTK masterpiece, because it is very easy to summon in this deck and it is essential to actually doing the combo. We're then playing 3 BEETROOPER Scout Buggy. Whenever Scout Buggy is special summoned, or normal summoned even actually, it'll summon another Scout Buggy. This immediately lets you go into a Cicada King, or into any of your other insect-based monsters. The only restriction is you immediately get locked into summoning only insects for the turn, which a lot of the cards in this deck do. They do. We're then playing BEETROOPER Stinglancer. Stinglancer, again, is essentially a free special summon. We just have to target an insect in our graveyard and a monster in our opponent's graveyard to special summon it from our hand, which we can do usually. Like, if we get hand trapped, this can come out on turn 1, and if we don't, it is a card that can come out a bit later. If we do, we get a BEETROOPER Spell and Trap card from our deck. Usually we're going to search Flying Sting with this. Flying Sting is basically just a Omni Negate at spell speed 4. We also playing one Scary Moth. Scary Moth is really funny. It is a 1 tribute insect that doesn't really have that much damage or anything, but each player can only special summon a monster once per turn. So this is a Winda, but for insects. That's amazing. We are then playing 2 Retaliating Sea, simply because this does put a stop to a lot of what our opponent can do, so we may as well play it. It's kind of neat. We're then playing one BEETROOPER Assault Roller, which is just a free special summonable level 4, if we have an insect in our graveyard, which a majority of the time we will. We are looking at Airbalist the Rapid Fire, which can special summon a level 3 or lower insect from our graveyard when it is summoned, normal summon specifically this time. It comes in handy sometimes. It's not generally the card we want to see in our hand, but being able to search it is kind of good. Then we're taking a look at one of the key pieces, Resonance Insect. If this is sent from the field to the graveyard, we can add one level 5 or higher insect monster from our deck to our hand. Any of them. This is not once per turn. If this card is banished, we can send an insect monster from our deck to the graveyard, except Resonance Insect. We banish this, and with it, we send Gokipole. Gokipole, when it's sent to the graveyard, can add a level 4 or lower insect monster to our hand. If it's a normal monster, we can special summon it immediately and destroy a monster with attack greater than the card that we special summoned. We have one normal monster in the deck for this reason, Killer Needle. It has a 1200 attack, meaning we get to destroy just about anything on the board using this, and it's in the same spell chain. So if Gokipole's effect goes off, it's gonna destroy a card on the field no matter what. It's good enough. If we don't want to search the normal monster, we can we can, of course, search any other insect in our deck, which also comes in handy. Then, we're taking a look at probably the best normal summon in the deck, Battle Wasp Sting the Poison. Not essentially a BEETROOPER, but a BEETROOPER in spirit. When it is normal summoned, we can search ourselves for a Battle Wasp monster from our deck and just add it to our hand. It can also be special, but I digress. Most of the cards are like this. With it, we're going to usually search Pin the Bullseye. Special summoning itself, dealing 200 damage to our opponent, which is immediately going to allow us to link off into either Armor Horn or Peak of Elena. We'll get there when we get there. We're then having a look at BEETROOPER Scale Bomber, which, whenever an insect monster is normal special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, we can special summon Scale Bomber from our hand. Scale Bomber can, when a monster's effect is activated, tribute an insect to destroy the activating monster. It's situationally useful, just like Ghost Ogre is situationally useful, but it's at least there. It's something, it does what it does. Then, we're of course playing 3 Ash Blossom, because this is a traditional hand trap. We're playing 3 Triple Tactics Talent, because having our cards affected is really, really detrimental to us, so being able to draw a couple of cards is really good. 1 Gold Sarcophagus for a card we haven't gone over yet, but you'll see it in a moment. 1 Foolish Burial, because this does come in handy. We can send something like Gokipole with it. 1 Monster Reborn, because why not? 1 BEETROOPER Descent, which just summons us a BEETROOPER token, which is kinda nice. And if we control an insect monster with 3,000 or more attack, we get to destroy a spell trap. We then have BEETROOPER Formation, which means we can special summon a BEETROOPER from our graveyard, but it can't attack, and we lose LP equal to its original attack. And whenever an insect monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, we get a BEETROOPER token. And then Flying Sting, of course, which we went over earlier. The last card in our main deck is Heavy BEETROOPER Mighty Neptune. This thing is massive. It cannot be normal summoned or set, and can only be special summoned from our hand by shuffling 3 of our banished insect monsters into the main deck. During the main phase, if this card's in its owner's control is destroyed or banished by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card. Yeah. So if it's destroyed, it just comes back. You can use this effect of Heavy BEETROOPER Neptune once per turn. Once per turn during the end phase, you can target one other insect monster you control, it gains 1,000 attack. So basically, they have to destroy this twice, and it keeps buffing insects on the board, making them harder to deal with, which is wonderful. Then, in our extra deck, we're having 1 Sky Thunder Zeus. Simply because sometimes we want to attack with our Cicada King, and having a Zeus after that is pretty good. Cicada King, of course, is a essential monster negate, and then it changes the position of Cicada King, which allows you to special summon an insect. Our main boy, Invincible Atlas, very invincible until he gains attack, in which case he can then be targeted, but he's pretty good. Access Code Talker, because it is a great finisher. Nightmare Unicorn, very rarely gone into, but having the potential to do so is neat. Keep in mind that most of our combo game locks us into insects, so summoning either of these two is very rare. We then have Seraphim Papillion, which allows you to special summon insects during your opponent's turn, which is kind of nice. BEETROOPER Armorhorn is the way we are going to do just about anything requiring 2 insect monsters, and when you can activate its effect, you get to special summon another insect from your hand. It's really, really good. Again, locking you into insects like most of these cards do, but just keep in mind that that's a thing. You can also banish 3 other insect cards from your graveyard to special summon Armorhorn, which immediately fulfills the condition for Mighty Neptune. Kind of cool. We're then playing 1 IP Masquerena, again, very rarely coming into play. We're playing 1 Shinobi Insect Hakagomerino, which also very rarely comes into play. Insector Pecophalena is one of the most interesting cards in this deck, because when it is summoned, we can equip an insect monster to another insect monster we control, which, would you know, the condition for Resonance Insect is only being sent from the field to the graveyard. Even if Resonance Resonance Insect is equipped to a monster and sent to the graveyard, we get to trigger its effect anyway. Last card in the deck, we're playing an Asa the Earth Charmer Immovable, simply because sometimes our opponent uses Earth monsters and we could use this to climb into Access Code Talker. Generally speaking, we want to control the board with our Invincible Atlas, and then having our resources constantly in use thanks to cards like Mighty Neptune and Sting Lancer, in order to just beat down our opponent until they can take no more bugging. That should be the longest deck profile I've ever done, but there's a lot of insects to go over in this one. Let's bring our tiny army into the ladder, shall we? Here is our first didgeridoo duel of today. Let me move this again, because it fucks up every time. And our hand is actually terrible. This is probably the worst hand I think we've ever had. We're going to have to Foolish here. And we are going to Foolish for our Gokipole. We're going to activate the effect of Gokipole, and this time we need to search an actual good insect monster. I don't think we have a lot of them right now. Yeah, we're gonna have to go for Airbalist the Rapid Fire. This is a weird combo, but we're gonna normal summon Airbalist. We're gonna activate Airbalist's effect to bring back Gokipole. With that, we can now at the very least go into Armorhorn. Kind of a sucky combo. Here comes Phantasme. I'll let you have Phantasme, I think. Don't necessarily want to Ash it. It's better that he does it now than before we get Invincible Atlas out, in case we get there. He fired that off very, very early, looking at Armorhorn. Armorhorn is like, yeah, I'm a bug! I love the art of these, though. We're now going to activate this effect in order to summon another card, which... it sucks to say, but we have to go for the Killer Needle. It is terrible. I don't want to have to do that, but I don't see another way of doing it here. We're going to go for Armorhorn number 2. So we can then activate Armorhorn's effect, banishing all 3 insects. getting our armor horn back, and these two will be able to climb into Invincible Atlas. This is just about the only thing we can do here, which is unfortunate. We have to tribute an insect to use it, so we don't really have anything to use there. So that's all we're gonna do. Now, we are able to use Sting Lancer, Retaliating Sea, and Ash Blossom here, so we should have at least some interaction. He's playing Parlors, or I'm gonna say Parlor Dragon Maids. We are going to Ash the Dragon Maid. Knowing that he summons this and not Chamber, he's probably missing a couple of pieces, so firing this off now is probably worth it. He's going to Super Poly. Okay. What are you Super Polying? I have an Earth monster. Do you have a target for this? I'm interested to know. Earth is a very rare attribute. He does not. He does go into Yugioh immediately, though. At this point, I think we're going to activate Sting Lancer. And we're going to get rid of... we have to return to the deck. I guess we go Parlor here, just to get it back. At this point, Tidying might summon it. Is Yugioh going to negate it? Yugioh actually decides to negate it. Okay. That's really interesting. I mean, the effect was already activated, so he can't do it again. He has another Super Poly. Wow, okay. It's unfortunate that Retaliating Sea can't be responded to with Super Polymerization, because of course nothing can respond to it. But that is very unfortunate. Rivalry of Warlords does us nothing, because every monster we control is an insect. Yugioh is going to come back, which is unfortunate, because now we have to deal with Yugioh too. Pot of Prosperity is the last card as well. That's sick. Ooh, that starting hand is nasty. Okay. Banishing 3 cards for it. Yup. Gonna search for 1 here. Finding the kitchen. No, not kitchen. Chamber is the one. That's unfortunate. He doesn't have a normal summon here, which is fine. Yugioh is gonna get over our Invincible Atlas, unfortunately. There is not a lot we can do about that. We do draw a Scale Bomber for turn, which is not exactly great. It kind of deals with Yugioh, though, which is interesting. Is he tagging out? Oh, no, he gets the special summon one, right. So he brings out Parlor. Parlor searches Tidying, I'm guessing? Yeah, we're not exactly in a great spot here. We are not exactly in a great spot at all. Because Tidying now can special summon House back. Which he is going to do, it looks like. No, he's going to bring out Chamber. Okay. A bit early to be playing Chamber out, don't you think? Could have just as easily done that next turn when you don't know what the field's going to look like. Alright, Hospitality. Yeah. This is really unfortunate. We're going to have to normal summon our Retaliating Sea here. We're going to activate the Scale Bomber in hand. It is going to get Shielded, which is perfectly fine for us. Because this means we can activate Armor Horn, banishing the 3 insects. Not that that does an insane amount or anything, but it does do something. We can make Papillion here, which will summon back an insect, but it's not a terribly great play, let's say. Hakagamero doesn't do much either. Pikafalena does us nothing. Unless we can draw a card, but we don't have enough insects to do that, unfortunately. Making another Armor Horn also doesn't really do anything. Yeah, I guess Papillion is like our only option here. We also get to trigger the effect of Retaliating Sea, which is, you know, just about everything we can do here. We don't have a summon of any kind, so we're just kind of stuck doing whatever. We're just going to punch over the Chamber. And we're going to pass with Papillion on field. We are going to activate Papillion here to special summon back Retaliating Sea, but it is just to save our souls here. Because I don't think there's a lot of other alternatives we have, really. The unfortunate part about BEETROOPER is the fact that if you actually get outed like this, you are in a very, very bad position, and having 2 Super Polys kind of screwed us over. If we were able to summon Retaliating Seed to our opponent's field, we would have been much better off. Because then they can't fusion summon. That's really unfortunate. Because now we're going to get changed over for another Yugioh, which is unfortunate again. Yugioh 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yep, there's Yugioh again. Man, I really would have wanted to summon this Retaliating Seed to their field. That would have been so much better. Unfortunate with the Super Polys, but, you know, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! It happens. Sometimes we don't get to decide things by ourselves. I think we are basically dead at this point, because we're gonna get Lorpar. Well, there goes our Papillion. We're gonna need a bit of a miracle on this one. Right, Yugioh is gonna special summon another Dragon Maid. It's gonna be Lorpar again. I mean, this isn't terrible, surprisingly. We're gonna get Effect Veilered. Why, I don't know. That does us nothing here, but thank you anyway. We're gonna go for our... Do we even go for the last Armor Horn? Like, does that matter? No, I think we Monster Reborn first and we target the Papillion. With Papillion on board, we now make Pikafalena. We trigger... Retaliating Sea and Resonance Insect. And with this, we add the... I think Mighty Neptune. Yeah, we add Mighty Neptune at this point. And then we add Resonance Insect. And now we can summon out the biggest of men, Mighty Neptune. Okay, so now we're at least sitting on something here. We can also make Access Code Talker at this point, which is really funny, but terrible. Like, really bad, actually. I think the correct choice is making, like, Atlas again. But even then, I'm skeptical, right? Because we can make Haganamero, but it doesn't do much. We can do this to try and spin back his monster. Spinning it back doesn't do a terrible amount either. Now, I think Invincible Atlas is the choice here. Bonus controls destroy the bench for opponent's card effect. So we can't really do that. Which is unfortunate, but such be the way of things. We're just gonna go to battle here and we're gonna start punching over a bunch of stuff. You are gonna die. And I guess we kill Parlor as well. At this point, we have the issue, because now we can't really do a lot of the things that I'd like to do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna special summon from deck. We're gonna destroy the Neptune. And we're gonna summon the Sting Lancer. We're gonna activate Sting Lancer. We're gonna add the... Probably Fly and Sting at this point, honestly. Now we at the very least have that set. So now if he attempts to do any funny business, we have the Fly and Sting ready. We're gonna Fly and Sting this for obvious reasons. Just get it out of here. And now we're in a slightly better position. Not by much, but a little bit. Striker Dragon comes out. Striker Dragon is going to be really interesting. Is he actually just playing it to send it to the graveyard, or does he have rockets in there? He actually scoops them! Holy shit, we turn it around! Flying Sting is a really good card here, but I don't know what the hell just happened, I'll be honest. That was a really weird game. We managed to take it in the end, but... Huh. That was a strange one. Let's go another one. Alright then, duel number 2 against our favorite person duelist. Well, this is unfortunate, because we are yet again sitting with a less than stellar card pool. We're gonna activate BEETROOPER formation just so we have it available, and we're gonna have to normal summon Scale Trooper, set our Flying Sting, and that is literally it. That's really unfortunate. We do have an Omni Negate, and we have Scale Bomber to kill something, but that isn't much, given that we both had Scary Moth and Sting Lancer in our original hand. We're gonna be hit by a Terraforming, which is gonna add... Ooh, Village of the Spellcasters is annoying. We don't have that many spell cards in the deck, in all fairness. We are going to hit Luna's effect here, because that is their normal summon, and it is worth it in this case. Yep, you can do that. Now, you can't activate spells either. That is fine. We don't have that many spells to do anything with, so I'm perfectly okay with this. Possessed Partnerships. Okay. That is still fine to me. Also, this kills Scary Moth, and that's hilarious. We're not really going to be using any spell cards, so... This is kind of bad now. Like, we can make Cicada King. That's about it. We can make Cicada King. It might just be worth making Cicada King, unironically. We're going to do that. We are going to make Cicada King, and we're going to sit on our Cicada King. We're gonna get Solemn Warning. That does actually activate Sting Lancer, though, which is kind of nice. We're gonna return this. We're gonna return the Luna. And we're gonna summon the Sting Lancer. Let's add a BEETROOPER spell trap. We can't use Descent right now because we're under Secret Village. Target a BEETROOPER in a graveyard, special summon it. We're just gonna go over the win. He has the Aruru! Boo. That sucks. Having the Aruru in hand is terrible. This is going to do nothing right now because we are... Oh, it is actually, because we're not under... It's already activated, so we can still make use of it, is what I'm saying here, if I had brain power to do so. That at least gives us Scale Bomber. It's not much. Ooh, Duality. Another Secret Village, so... An Asa is going to come out. Which is probably going to get normal summon, I'm assuming. Maybe not. Scary Moth, unfortunately, doesn't do much. Just going straight to battle here. Aruru is going to destroy this. Which is good, because that activates Formation. We get a token. And then the token's destroyed, unfortunately. Alright, we know the last card in hand is an Asa. There comes the Asa, and that's it. Aruru is going to go back to hand, which is super annoying. We're going to go Formation again. We're going to summon the Scale Bomber. With this, we're going to activate the effect of Pin the Bullseye. We're going to summon Pin. We're going to activate Pin to deal 200 damage to our opponent, which is just about as much as we can do. We don't have any monsters in the graveyard, which is why we can't bring this out, which is annoying. I do think we still make Armor Horn here. We can make Scary Moth with this, but it's not worth it in the slightest. Because they don't have any fucking monsters anywhere. We're gonna do it anyway. Just to get some stuff into the graveyard here. Oh, the last thing's not an insect. I'm so dumb. The last card in there's not an insect. I thought the last monster we had was an insect, so I could bring it back and do the combo, but no. I'm a fucking stupid, apparently. This is, at the very least, going to allow us to keep doing it over and over again, though, but we are taking a lot of damage. Here comes also the Earth Charmer, which now finally allows us to summon Sting Lancer. We're going to shove this back. We're going to shove that back. Here comes the Stingy Boy. He can only special summon one monster every turn thanks to Scary Moth, and we can only do the same, so he's kind of locked after this. It appears he forgot how Scary Moth works. Uh-huh. Nice. That is going to kill Scary Moth, unfortunately. We're going to activate Formation. We're going to get ourselves a token. A BEETROOPER token that has the same image as Pin the Bullseye, because it's adorable. Set 1. We know Golem Aruru's in hand, so declaring an attack is silly. We're going to activate BEETROOPER Formation. We're going to bring back Scale Bomber. We drew a Pin, so we're going to summon Pin. We're going to activate Pin's effect, deal some damage. You know the usual. Here, we're going to Pikafalena. We're going to activate Pikafalena. Return these 3 to the deck to draw a card. Monster Reborn. Okay, that's decent, to be honest. We could access code. I don't think it's worth it. Don't think that's worth it. No, I don't believe it is. We are going to Invincible Atlas here, just straight out. Atlas. We can't use this, unfortunately. He does have a Pikafalena. He cannot target this with card effect, so I don't know if this works or not. We're going to find out. I don't know how Golem Maruru does its effect. Target one card. Ah, yes. Return the targeted card to the hand. Okay. That's nice. We're just going to go ahead and kill Golem Maruru here. This does unfortunately destroy our BEETROOPER formation, which is unfortunate, but we should be able to do much here. What does Flying Sting do in the graveyard? Oh, we can set this card. Hell yeah. Let's banish Pikafalena. I want an Omni Negate. Nice. I forgot that this card comes back. And then it came back. That's good. At this point, we should just be able to absolutely overrun this deck. I'm hoping, at least. Pot of Duality, huh? Oh, it's not an Omni Negate, it's a Monster Negate. I've been talking shit this entire time. I keep mixing up all of the spell and trap cards for these decks, because they're confusing, man. But yeah, our towers is... Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, TTT is not good under a Secret Village, but it is a very good card otherwise. Possessed Partnerships. Okay. Okay. It can't be destroyed, buddy. Yep, I thought as much. I don't think they can get over this ever, considering it is basically invincible to them. That's a weird deck. I guess it was like just 3 structure decks of Spirit Charmers? I don't know what that was. Interesting nonetheless. Let's go for a final game. Alright, time for the real final duel of today, because I just had to skip 2 of them because they were both AFK. Fun times. We're forced to go second again. But honestly, it's been working out for us so far. So maybe that's just the way to go. Who knows? Maybe this person is also AFK, which will upset me greatly. It is yet another person who is in incognito mode as well, so, well, whatever. We finally get to normal summon Sting the Poison for the first time, meaning we can activate the effect of Sting the Poison. Or are we gonna get negated? No. Okay. We're going to search this time for Twinbow the Attacker, because we already have a pin in our hand. That's exactly why we do this. So we're gonna summon Pin, because we're holding it. I love the art of Pin the Bullseye. It's adorable for being a giant bee. And with them, we're gonna make, this time, Armor Horn. Oh, I didn't ping it for 200. No, what am I doing? Well, that was stupid of me. Is he gonna do anything? Come on. Don't sit on all chain if you don't have anything. It's just annoying. Respect to thy opponent. Let's activate Armor Horn. We're gonna summon Resonance Insect. Which, now that we link it off, is going to be able to do shenanigans. Come on. Come on! Let me play the video game, come on! I just want to play the video game, come on! Come on, do it! Okay. We're gonna make another armor horn using the first armor horn, which is gonna trigger the effect of Resonance Insect. If our opponent will freaking let us. Thank you. So Resonance Insect is going to search us. This time, I don't actually know here. I think we're just gonna take the Doomdozer. The Doomdozer is like the safe bet. Bet, says Doomdozer. Lol, said the Scorpion. Lamau. Right, so we can actually bring back the original armor horn here. We're not gonna do that, though. We are going to summon the Doomdozer first by banishing probably Sting and Bullseye. This brings out Doomdozer. Doomery Dozery. We actually have a fairly good end board here, I think. We're not going to be able to OTK, I don't think, but we're going to be close. We're then going to summon Twinbow the Attacker. This can, of course, do 2,000 damage, but it just isn't enough to win the game currently. We're instead going to attempt to go into Pika Felena and actually extend our board to the point where we might be able to. I don't know what the set card is. Could be Torrential Tribute. That would suck. Here's Twinbow. Just trying to extend here. We're going to make Pika Felena using these two. We're going to activate Pika Felena, pitching the Killer Needle, and targeting our Armor Horn. Now we get Impermanence, which kind of expected. At this point, I was really looking for it. Okay, so now we have to rethink our strategy a little bit here. These two, of course, can make Invincible Atlas, which is probably the correct option. We could also have these make Papillion, which do nothing for us right now. So, we could just keep Pika Felena on the board, but that, again, not exactly. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to do that. Because we're going to go here. We're going to do BEETROOPER Armor Horn. We're just going to banish the Resonance, this and that. This brings back our second one. We can now activate the effect of Resonance Insect, which is going to send Gokipole. This, of course, is going to trigger Gokipole. Gokipole is going to add... At this point, I'm going to say Assault Roller. Assault Roller can now banish the Gokipole to summon itself. And now we can make Invincible Atlas here. Activate Invincible Atlas to special summon a card from the deck, destroying this. Now we're talking. We have actually gotten back into this, I think. We're going to get hit with a Ghost Ogre, but that, of course, does nothing, because we are at 3,000 attack. We're going to summon the Scout Buggy. Scout Buggy is going to activate its effect to summon the Scout Buggy. And we are literally just a few hundred damage off. We are about 1,000 damage off here, which sucks ass. I could make another Invincible Atlas, but we're still off in damage, which is unfortunate. We're gonna go to battle with what we have. We're gonna punch in for almost lethal. Almost lethal. We're gonna go to main 2. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make the Cicada King again, just because I really like this card. We're gonna set our Flying Sting, and we're just gonna pass turn. Now we at the very least have 2 separate interactions and an Invincible Atlas, which should be good enough, all things considered. We got hit with both an Imperm and for some reason a Ghost Ogre that does nothing, but, you know, I digress. I don't know how they get out of this one. We have a really strong Monster Negate, we have another Monster Negate, and we have an Ash. This should just settle the game, right? I don't think it matters too much what this man's gonna play. Or woman, who knows. It is Hayari Adignister. Okay. So it is an Adignister player. Going for Dark Infant, of course. It is most certainly gonna get negated. And we're gonna change its battle position here. And when it does, we're going to activate Cicada King. Cicada King will special summon the Scout Buggy, which will trigger the Scout Buggy effect, which will summon another Scout Buggy. And now we've built a wall. That hand could not have been very good if he decided to go first and he could only end on an infinite impermanence. Yikes. I don't think poor Adignister has any way out of this. Because this board is looking spicy. Well then, Mr. Adignister, what's it gonna be? Idol Reborn. Sure thing. What are you gonna do after Idol Reborn? Going for the Splash Mage. He is certainly trying. Unfortunately, we have a Flying Sting. You're getting nowhere with that tactic, buddy. That's what I thought. Well, that worked out a lot better than expected. Let's wrap this thing up. So, what do we think about BEETROOPER? Well, to be honest, this insect deck has come a long way from just having a single card to its name. Nowadays, it is definitely an option to play, especially if you want to play on a slight budget, you know, except the triple tactics talents, but I digress. We didn't use them a single time, so you can clearly see you don't need them. It is very, very consistent. I mean, once you actually get a play started, very rarely will you get completely shut down. Hand traps hurt this deck a lot, but don't necessarily kill it outright. Because we have things like Twin Bow and Pin the Bullseye, we can fill our board up from seemingly nowhere. This, as well as Sting Lancer being able to be used during our opponent's turn to search us any spell or trap card, is really, really good. Having a tower as an invincible Atlas that's easily summonable is absolutely crazy, especially given the fact that Armor Horn is not a once per turn for summoning, so you can just summon 2 of them to make one, and it's really good. It's just good. It's not top tier or anything, because obviously we don't set up a board with a million negates on it, but it is a very fun deck nonetheless, and I seriously hope you guys give this one a try. I will leave the Omega deck code in the description below of these videos starting from now on, so in case you want to give this specific list a go, then it's available down there. Just copy it, go into the import section, which I will show you right now. Just go into import and select clipboard deck. That way, when you have the code copied, of course, you'll import this deck for you and it'll name it BEETROOPER. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, remember to subscribe, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to support me and my creation of content, do consider Patreon or YouTube membership. As always, remember to stay safe out there.